Hi, it's Katherine Skaggs, and I'm here on April 30th, 2022 to do a new moon reading with the mythical goddess Trow. Now, this particular new moon is very interesting because it's considered a black moon, and it's also aligned with the first eclipse of 2022. So there's a great deal of power within this moon cycle, this lunation, to clean away the past to help bring us into new beginnings, aligned more with our soul's purpose and our destiny on the highest levels. So, it's very interesting. It's in Taurus. It's a rare happening. It's aligned with this eclipse that can bring chaos and unexpected change, quickening change. Uranus is in here that can bring sudden, unexpected energy along with the eclipse. We also have planets in here that bring blessings, that these changes can get us deeper into our spiritual selves, into emotional yumminess, that bring value in our lives. That Taurus energy is about grounding us into greater value within ourselves, greater value with how we appreciate what we have and who we have, all the while helping us to let go of distortions and things that don't work for us, but through heart and through value. So that's the cool thing about this, is that we can deepen and get it more big in our potentiation in love and in joy. So it can be very positive for emotional relationships, with how we work with our emotions and deepen them with the spiritual essence of them, and not just like crazy chaos. So I want you to know this is positive, even though it may make you uncomfortable at times, as you let go of things that don't work for you. Expect sudden opportunities of great value. You might get the lottery, go get a lottery ticket. But good value opportunities are coming to you through this quickening and potentiation. So let's see where we can go with this and see what the mythical goddess Trow has to tell us. Let me see if there's anything else in my notes. Oh yeah, Mars is in here too with this energy, helping us have the strength and the resolve to stay focused on where we're being led through our greatest desires to connect to our soul selves and our destiny that brings value and love and returns us to joy and harmony. I'm all for that. Let's clean out the stuff we don't need and see where we can move forward and get out of the cocoon and be more like the butterfly. Hey, wouldn't that be great? All right, I'm going to do a 15-card Mythical Goddess Trow spread. See what wants to show ourselves about how to work with these new moon energies. The black moon, a rare, rare, rare occurrence that brings us into greater value, that restores us individually and collectively into deeper yumminess emotionally, spiritually. There's Pisces energy, and there's Neptune energy, and there's Jupiter energy dancing with us to expand in our spiritual selves and our awareness. So in this 15-card spread, the first 3 cards are about who we are as we're sitting in this energy and what we need to know about our abilities right now, our perspective as we enter into this doorway. And one of the beautiful cards that's in the center, it is a Pisces card. It's that energy that is here for us to claim of our joy. And it's in Jupiter, Pisces and Jupiter, which is one of the main influences taking place as we enter into this new moon and this eclipse. So take note, this is where your true value lies. Emotional yumminess. Notice that she's naked and her arms are open on a dolphin. Dolphins are joy. They're playful. She's naked, which means honesty. Her arms are open to the sun, so she's taking in the light. She's got an open heart. So this is a great energy to ground right now, to help navigate these energies, to acknowledge that and to work with it. It's one of the positive aspects that's being offered to us actually through the astrology taking place. Another one that's sitting here is a mental card. It is Libra, and it's in Saturn, and it's the wind, it's the mind, and it's isolation. But if you look at it, it's this one bird, this crow, looking at a couple other birds up there, in the sky. Kind of like, is it remorseful? It can't go play? What's the deal? So this is about balance between your inner world and your outer world, and your mental attitude about how you enter into this time period. To me, this says, be happy for the time you have to reflect, to be mentally reflective during this time, and notice if you want to go out and play, but you need to stay home and practice or meditate. An artist or a musician, they need space to practice their skills. And then they go out into the world and share them. So when I see this card, it tells me to be mindful whether you think you're missing out on something or that you just need to breathe and be present with your situation at hand so that you can enjoy who you are and have the balance for your personal time as well as for the time you have out in the world with your friends and your loved ones. So as this card is sitting in the who we are as we go into this, it tells me that we're having space in there to reflect, and it's very important that we take advantage of that along with our celebration of our heart spaces. Go back and forth between your mental self and your heartfelt self to strike a balance, and between your physical reality. The other one's it's an ace of earth. It's manifestation. So it tells me not only do we have joy, heart spaces, time to be alone and reflect as we enter into this cycle, but also that we've been given things. This is that Taurus energy of bringing heaven to earth. And it being an ace, it's all about new beginnings and blessings from your angels, guides, and helpers. That everything is coming to earth and everything you need is right here now. So give gratitudes as you enter in this period and notice the value of what's in your physical reality as well as your heart space and what you're working with on all these different levels spiritually and mentally. So this is a great card. It just tells me we've got gifts as we're entering into a new cycle and that it's bringing good things to us that we get to experience in our physical reality. What a concept, right? All right. The next three cards have to do with our big picture. They have to do with, I just want to make sure I was recording for a minute. I didn't think I was. All right. So in the big picture, what is this energy about? What I know about these eclipses is that this is seeding energy at least through November for what's coming to fruition. And I'm not an astrologer, but I work with the astrology as part of the map of how to know how we're navigating energies, what's coming in, and how do we work with that. So in the big picture, very much what I see happening is White Buffalo Calf Woman is here. She's sacred fire. She's about making the physical reality a ceremony of life, a ceremony of the soul, that the soul destiny is about coming into the beauty of spirit and the divine in all of your life. That what is coming forth over this time period is the alignment to your soul's destiny and understanding how to be sacred in all your relations with your body, with what's given in the physical reality, to be sensual and connected to all life here, and it's connected to your eternal life. She brings in the medicine of prayer through the peace pipe. That this is about returning to peace, about how to be in a body on earth, having a life with the most sacred spiritual essence possible. She also signals a time of purification to get there. So this cycle is helping to purify anything that keeps you from being in true love and value for yourself, for your soul, and for all your relations and how you live on this earth. So know that there are going to be opportunities to clean and clear, to bring you into a pure heart, a pure mind, a pure body, and that is offered to each of us and to the collective. So know that the changes taking place on the planet now that look kind of hairy, sudden, scary, put the light into those through your attitude and your heart of compassion for yourself and for others. And know that this process is one of cleaning up so we can return to greater peace and greater connectivity through our world. Another one of the cards is another goddess. It's Morgan Le Fay, the sorceress. This is about magic. This is about working with the elemental world and the magic of source, of the divine, to come through you, to come through your higher perspective, and to bring that magic into your life. So as this new moon and eclipse energy comes through, there's more spiritual power being offered up for you to connect to see what a divine and magical being that you are. She's queen of the fairies, and she knows all about magic. So where are you connecting with magic and spiritual medicine to bring that into your world? This is wanting to wake up into you of your higher consciousness and how you bring that into your reality. It's also here for the awakening of humanity, for more spiritual power awareness of how we connect through our thoughts, our focus, our attention to create, and that it's a divine gift. The more we're in our heart and compassion, the more we connect upwards and bring it all the way to heaven is really important, because we can shapeshift our reality much more quickly than we think. This cycle is about a quickening. So imagine that you're going to know more about your sacredness and how to magically create your life in support with the universe. All right, the third card in the bigger picture is integrity. She's fire, she's spirit. Her eyes are closed, looking inward, and yet she's expanding all this light and beauty and rainbow energy into the world. Her original name of this painting is Angel Rainbow Dreamer. So this is integrity from heaven to earth, from your personality to your subconscious, from your conscious to your subconscious and your superconscious self. It's impeccable right now that these changes are offered up to bring us into greater integrity from our soul self and conscious loving beings into our human messy world, so we can ground that and ground upward into our expression in our relationships with one another, our integrity in our body, our integrity in our personal relationships, our integrity in our work, and the integrity of how we show up with all of the world in its ups and downs. I'd say there's a great deal being given to us to potentiate us into truly a higher state of being. All right, the next three cards have to do with what our lessons are. Our lessons are tied to our opportunities. They're two sides of the same coin. Our challenges are our opportunities. How do you want to show up in this eclipse energy of sudden change to let go of the things that don't serve you, so that you can really quicken into greater sense of self and how you are happy and harmonized and can meet the world of your ego challenges with great tenacity, and at the same time bringing positive shift that is solid and grounded through your body and your life. So we got a big challenge here. One of the biggest things that we're facing to shift out is self-destruction. Now, this card's shown up in a couple of readings I've done recently, and everyone always is like, oh my God. And it's kind of a scary negative card. Spiritually, we're being called, that's a Saturn energy in Sag, we're being called to clean away all the places we sabotage ourselves, all the places where we turn difficult experiences against ourselves or others. This is about transformation and healing. This is about the opportunity, the lesson, and the work through this shift is to clean up and clear away and alchemize self-doubt, self-deprecation, self-destruction, ways that you sabotage your relationships, your body, your health, your work, and to get honest. Shine a light on the shadows in your life. Shine a light and bring light, and shed the skins of the ways that bring suffering. This is the homework and the opportunity given. This is the lesson given right now through this eclipse energy. If you want to move to a more yummy, loving relationship for yourself and another, this is what's at hand for this energy to clear away and to bring in something entirely different, expanding you into a new reality of who you are and what you can experience. So big work, but there's the support there to help us clean and clear. Work on your own stuff and show up in integrity with yourself, and then you'll know how to work with others in the rest of your life. Big lesson. All right. Right alongside with that is one of the other self-sabotaging energies is manipulation. This is an Earth card in Taurus, and this opportunity of clearing the past is not only facing any self-destructive habits, but truly cutting the cords of any way that you string people along or you're strung along. And it can be your own personal perspective of not letting go of a situation, not letting go of something in yourself where you feel tied and you feel bound and you feel unfree. So this freeing process from old habits that are physical in the way you react, in the way you feed your body, in the way you show up in the world, the opportunity here is you let go of what you are attached to or what you feel is attached to you, frees you up to make choices from your heart, frees you up to make choices of self-love, frees you up to know how to move forward without strings attached, that you do so from purity. You know, relationships will change. It doesn't mean people go away. It might. But it also means that if you let go of the habits and the perspectives and the wounds that they were born of, everything can shift up into a higher light. And that new contracts are made, new ways of being are made. If there's a willingness in yourself, that's where magic can happen all around you. And you'll know what's right for you as you let go of anything that's self-destructive or that you manipulate or are manipulated. Put that on your altar. Imagine cutting the cords to things that are destructive in yourself and others. And then let spirit help you vibrate up into new potentiation. It'll reveal itself. Try not to determine the outcomes. Just do your work to cut away places where you've been afraid to leave some situation because there's money there, like a job that you hate. As you begin to cut away your attitude and your perspective that you just can't do this or that you've devalued yourself, and you look for greater value and how you give that to yourself and to the world, that job might shift around where you are valued or another job will appear. So it's not black and white as much as I want to make it that way. Always, if you're in the alchemy of it, new things will appear as you trust yourself. You'll know which way to go. And as much as it seems that we can screw up, really, if you're on the path to awaken, everything is a lesson and brings blessings in the long run, in my perspective. You may not agree, but that's what I'm working on. All right. The other card that has to do with what we're truly working on is emotional pleasure. This is a card of the seas, emotional energy. This is about truly being in our emotional body and being in pleasure. So as we catalyze the things that don't work for us, there's a good chance you're going to be dumping out old emotional energies that don't work for you. Notice how you are wanting to let go of anger or fear or doubt or depression, any place that keeps you from truly being in pleasure in your body and in your emotions and in your life. This is where we're headed, is to truly return to pleasure within our very beings. So notice that as you are being cut away in this eclipse energy and new moon energy, you may invite in, as one of your intentions with the new moon, to cultivate and potentiate your true pleasure, your heart pleasure, your soul pleasure, your body pleasure, life pleasure, to live fully with an open heart, filled with joy and the emotions flowing through you in a manner that you're filled up and you're rejuvenated. So that sounds good. Sounds like a little bit of work, but it's okay. We're being fortified to have the energy we need to do what our next soul growth is. We're in an initiation. So with initiations, there are things that fall away and die as we're reborn into greater light. And that's the opportunity here. All right, we got more goddesses. We got a lot of heavenly support right now. So the next piece in the reading has to do with what's our action. to get the most out of this cycle, to glean the energy, the wisdom, and to manifest through this sensual energy and this new moon opportunity and this eclipse that's bringing amazing growth opportunities for us. Right in the center is the Mayan goddess Ishel. She's the lunar moon card. She is fertility. She is new life. She is reflection. She is that reflective energy of our subconscious, our inner beings that brings the magic into this world to create new beginnings. She is complete fertile mama that brings healing. She is the medicine of rabbit and the medicine of jade for heart healing. So with her sitting in the center of her actions, it's going to be very important to do the moon ceremonies, to sit in the nighttime and in the moon. She's more full moon, but her sitting here with this particular reading tells me we need to go within. We need to meditate. We need to be reflective. We need to be in observation. We need to seed the void of the new moon energy with the seeds of everything we want to grow, and then we need to focus on it, both from our inner selves and to bring that forward into our outer reality. So be quiet and inward during this time, not only during this cycle of these days where this is potent energy, but to bring that forward in your practices, to meditate, to do ceremony, and to reflect inwardly to your spiritual self and to your heart of hearts, of your soul's desires. And I know that's what you're bringing forth in this time period if you will feed it with your focus and your attention and your intention. So she is the rainbow jaguar goddess, and she's here to help us. All right. Another goddess that's coming forward is Mary Magdalene. Before I pulled this card, I said we're in an initiation. So this is a spiritual initiation to move us into higher frequencies of our Christ, our Buddha, our shaman selves, these fifth dimensional energies that are moving us from unconsciousness, places where we haven't been awake, into a more beautiful way of being. This is Capricorn energy from the heavenly realm. So this is a card where energy is going to move us forward. And we need to take action toward our higher divine selves. We need to know that things are shifting and the possibilities are there. So pay attention and do your work, do your spiritual work to anoint yourself into a new way of being, to lean into it and to notice when you need to sign up for a class or you need to work with a particular healer or teacher or you need to go be in ceremony and you feed that part of your life and that you're being supported from the divine to show that to you. So be open toward where you're being initiated and then feed it. Ask for help if you need to. It'll show up in the physical besides in your spiritual realm. All right, the works card always means we've got work to do. Everything that I mentioned in the challenges, where we're headed, it requires us in our earthly selves to do the work to bring heaven to earth. We need to take responsibility for what we're cleaning out that's been destructive, for what we're doing to bring in pleasure, for what we're doing to cut the ties to old ways of being that don't serve us in our wholeness. So this is the work, is that you need to focus on what are your highest hopes, dreams, and potentials, and then clean out the limiting negative thoughts, the traumas, the fears that get in the way of you being in harmony. You may literally want to dance. Imagine creating activities where you dance. It's springtime in the northern part of the Americas, of the world. Plant seeds. Focus your attention. Do the work in the soil. Bring everything to earth, and everything will shift. All right. What are our potent outcomes as we come through this time period and ride this eclipse season over the next months into November at least? It's not just the new moon. The new moon and that eclipse are seeding the next 6 months or more into what's coming to earth. So our response, our outcomes, tell me right at the center, we've got the mother perception. And she's a Pisces card again. So that Pisces influence is there. That's a very spiritual energy. And yet that Neptune Pisces energy there are times when we can be stuck in our emotions, deep emotions that are tumultuous and confusing and murky. And then on the other hand, the flip side of the coin is it's exalted. It can be the Christ energy. It can be, wow, an awakened perception that comes in. So this card tells me that we have the opportunity as we work with these energies to change our perception to that's a much more sensitive, higher perception that Pisces, Neptune offers of a spiritual awakening. If we don't do our work, if you don't do your work or I don't do my work, we might be lost in the undertow of the waters, the dark, murky waters of our emotions if we don't clean up, if we don't take action with a focus on a higher spiritual evolution. So to me, she represents the ability to be psychically aware, to be aware of what's in our subconscious and clear out old subconscious things that are born of muck and return us to a purity, and where we have greater capacity and mastery over the emotional body and over our psychic and intuitive selves, to truly be one with that emotional subconscious energy in a very positive way. So that would be my take on where we're headed with that. We've got this water influence with these energies is very interesting because we got two C's cards or emotional cards in the outcome. And we got one of the mental suit, which is a negative card. So I'm like, oh, when a negative card comes up in the outcome, what the heck? So this is pessimism. So does that mean in the next months that we're going to be more pessimistic as a result of this? Not necessarily. You could if you don't do your work. You could if you just go along and are unconscious. But to me, when I see a negative card in the outcome, it's like a warning card. It tells me that this moon energy and this eclipse energy and this cycle is one to bring up any limiting, self-defeating thoughts and belief systems that put us in a box that think we can't go forward. We get pessimistic about having a better future. We get pessimistic about our health. We get pessimistic about our relationships, work, whatever it happens to be. This is the thorn or the toxin that we are here to clean up. And that if we will do our work, this is what's being mined out of the challenges and the unconsciousness so that we can be more hope-filled, so that we can get out of the boxes that have kept us from creating our reality through the highest mind and heart possible. So let's know that this is something to put on our altar right now, to offer it up to these energies, to break the boxes that limit us in our mental and our thought forms, to bring greater harmony through all the energies of the heart and our spiritual essence, to clear this. You know, in our external reality, just to speak of what's going on in the world and collective, it's been one born of fear that has been, I'm going to say, mind control. You know, when I first started metaphysics, my teachers would say, learn to control your mind and don't let others control your mind. That's the way to do it. It's like learn to focus in a higher perspective and these things will be cleared. So let's put that on the altar. Crone resurrection is also up as part of the outcome. This tells me that we're going through an emotional healing so that we can become wise in our true selves. This is a Scorpio energy. This is an energy of power through our emotions from the highest spiritual perspective, that we are here to resurrect ourselves. Emotional healing is at hand. Wisdom is at hand, which is great. I'm a Pisces Cancer with a lot of Scorpio in my chart. Sometimes those emotions are overwhelming. And yet they're my greatest gift if I can work with cleaning out the old ones that are not born of love. And that's true of any and all of us, that these energies of emotions coming up right now, there's great power and wisdom as we clean away the experiences that have been difficult, allow us to evolve where we can be wise ones and be more deeply intimate and loving through our emotional selves. All right. I hope that this is a benefit to you today, and I look forward to talking to you next.